Hello everybody and welcome back. We are here for the week 2 challenge and I'm going to share with you the week 2 freebies. These challenges will be happening throughout the month of May. This is to celebrate the release of my Dear Dragonfly kit. I am really loving working with this kit. I haven't showed my project that I'm working on yet, but that will be coming up in a video very soon. But this challenge is going to be something that goes within that journal. So these are the week 2 freebies. Now you can find these freebies either in the Non-Stop Papercrafts Facebook group or on my Ko-fi page. I have a Linktree link down below. Everything will be there. Also, if you want to go and check out the full kit, the Dear Dragonfly kit, that will also be linked down below in the description. So each week when I do challenges, there are freebies. This week's freebies are these pages. So we've got what essentially looks like a big pocket, but I'll explain exactly how it works in a moment. But you've got a side where you could do some journaling. You have got a collage side, but you could again do some journaling in some of these places as well. You've then got a slightly smaller version of that. So again, we've got some writing space and then a decorated page, which you could add more to if you wish to. And then the last one is a smaller version again, but with some additional bits and pieces as well. So they're the 3 pages. As I said, you can find them in the Non-Stop Papercrafts Facebook group or you can find them on my Ko-fi site. So what is this week's challenge? Now I was toying over the name of this. So I'm going to call it a never-ending journaling card, only because originally it was a journaling card within a journaling card within a journaling card, and I just thought that's way too much of a mouthful. So that's why you have these different sizes, because essentially they're all going to fit one inside the other. So you kind of pull one out and you've got another journaling card, you pull the next one out, you've got another journaling card. So I'm going to start, I think, with the smallest one. This one you'll notice has no tabs because this one is just going to be the normal journaling card. You can, of course, because you do have some space along the sides, make this into a pocket as well if you wish to. I'm not going to do that. I am just going to make this as a journaling card. So I'm just going to spend a few moments, I think, just getting everything cut out. And I will be using these tabs as well for this particular project. So I'm just going to chop those off and pop those to one side. I'm going to do the same with those words. Okay, now you can of course use a trimmer. I'm just going to whiz around with my scissors, although I'm actually thinking now it might have been quicker with my trimmer and straighter. Yeah, I think I might actually finish it off with my trimmer because I cannot cut straight with scissors. Right, okay, so that's a little bit neater. So essentially all I'm going to do is fold this in half. Now I've printed mine on 160 GSM. Normal copy of paper is about 80, so it's double that thickness. But the fact that I'm folding it in half will make this then a nice sturdy journaling card. But again, you have that writing space on the back. As I said, because we are folding it over, you could essentially make this a pocket again and keep going and still have more and more tuck spots, but I'm just going to have the 2 pockets and then the final journaling card, but it's entirely up to you. So I'm going to glue these down first because that can be drying while I'm putting the next pockets together. Okay, I'm just going to fold that over. And there you have your first journaling card. Now I will be inking around the edges and doing all of that in a moment, but I just want to get everything built first, then I can do the smarting up in a moment. So after that, we then have this pocket. Now at the moment I've got tabs on all 3 sides. It's because it's up to you to choose whether you want a top loading pocket or a side loading pocket and which way round you want it. So I've done tabs on all 3 sides, but you just chop off the one that you don't want. So for this particular one, I'm going to have a top loading pocket, so I'm going to snip off this one here. But as I said, it's for you to choose. So I am going to bring my trimmer in again, just because it's quicker and neater. For me anyway, like I said, I'm not great with scissors. Right, so now I just need to do a little bit of extra cutting. So I'm just going to cut away that piece there. Okay, so that's that one. So I can now fold these. And again, you have the option of printing on the inside, because you're not really going to see the inside. I'm not overly fussed about that. That's one tab. Okay, and the next tab. And we obviously want to fold it in the middle as well. Okay, so I'm just really burnishing those folds. Again, I'm going to glue that down. I will do all of my inking and things later on. Okay, so again, we've got a journaling card, but it's also a pocket. And then this one should slot inside. Yep, so that fits inside. Okay, so we're going to take that one out, pop that to the side, and we're going to work on the last one. So I'm just going to pop the pin in the glue so it doesn't dry out while we're cutting. And we're going to do exactly the same for this one. This time, because I had a top loading on this one, I'm going to do the side on this one. So I'm going to chop that long tab off. Again, I'm just going to come in with my scissors just for those final pieces. So we're going to fold over the middle. And fold over the tabs. Okay, so that's going to fit together like that. It does look like I need to do a little bit of trimming. Obviously wasn't quite as good with my scissors cutting up that edge. But I'll glue it all down first, then like I said, we can do the tidying up afterwards. Right, okay, and then hopefully this one fits inside there, like so. Right, so now we've got our 3 layers, and this is where we can start now like I said, just doing a bit of a tidy up. So I obviously cut a little bit too far out here. So obviously just being careful I'm not cutting into the fold. That's that bit there. And then let's have a look. So this is going to go into this pocket here. I think I'm just going to take just a slither off of this. Just to help it fit in a little bit more freely. That's better. That's better. Literally just needed that teeny slither. Okay, so that slots in there. That one's then going to slot in there. And then this can be in your journal. You have a journaling card here. You could even do, like I said, some journaling on the front. Then you're like, oh, it's a pocket. Oh, I've got another journaling card. I can do some more journaling. And then, oh, what's this? We have another layer with another journaling card. Again, you've got some space here, or you've got your space on the back. So that's all of those. That is essentially the card within a card within a card. Now to add some fun embellishments to it. So let's get rid of the rubbish. And let's bring in these bits. Right, okay, so that's all my bits and pieces cut out. I just need to obviously go over these tabs. Now I don't need all of them, so I won't cut all of them in this video, but I'm just going to fold them over and see which ones I want where. Oops. Okay, so that's that folded over. I think I might go for those two, so I'm going to move those out of the way a minute. And I'm just going to finish cutting around these. And I find it easier if you, oops, fold them in half, and then you can do this bit together. I just think it makes it much easier. You might have a punch or a die that actually cuts this shape, and if you do, you could use that, obviously. I do actually have some tab dies, but I don't think I've got one that's this shape. Okay, so just that little corner at the bottom. That'll do. Right. Okay, so this is my main journaling card, and it's being loaded in the top of this one. So I'm going to want one of these on here. However, I obviously need to make sure that it will fit inside the pocket. So I don't actually want that too high up. Because it still needs to be able to fit inside this pocket. So about there is perfect, isn't it? So I think I'm going to give it a little bit of an ink. I'm going to use purple, I think, for this, since we do seem to have a lot of purple going on. So I'm using Dusty Concord. Oh, actually, I think I'm also going to round corners. Nice not actually using a vintage photo and just using a different colour for a change. Not that there's anything against vintage photo. I love vintage photo. It's probably my most used colour. But since this is quite a bright and colourful kit, I think it needs bright and colourful ink. So I'm just going to go around the edges. Might as well do both while we're here. Okay, so that's that. And then we said it needs to be reasonably low down. So let's just double check. So I'm not going to put it inside. I'm going to try and line it up on the pocket. So imagining that the card, I'm not taking it right to the bottom because it doesn't obviously go right to the bottom. But if it slips in here, I also need it to go in here. So that tab would be fine. About there. So I'm actually going to aim for where the bottom of that brown bit is, where that page is. That's where I'm going to aim for my glue. So let's do that one. And this is why I build all the pockets together first before, because I didn't want to embellish this, stick this on, get this one all done, and then find that it doesn't actually then fit in all of the other pockets. So I like to do all of the pockets first, and then I kind of know where I'm going. So I'm trying to aim-ish for the middle. Bring it down ever so slightly. I want to ensure that I've got that room. Does that look like the middle? Yeah, it's about the middle. Okay, so that's that one. So that's going to fit in there, and I might actually round these corners as well. Again, we're going to add some ink. Okay, so that slots inside that one, and I will pop an eyelet and bits in a minute. So that goes in there, and then this one is going to go in here. So again, we're going to aim for the middle, and we're going to pop this one on there. So that's about my middle. And that's going to go in there. Now obviously it doesn't matter if that one's poking up a little bit because that's the last layer. Right, so let's put the pin in there for a second. And I'm going to round the corners on this one. Okay, so this one I'm going to have to stick at an angle. I think I could possibly just get journal in, but not enough. Okay, I've got these cute little dragonfly brads which I've had for ages and not used, so that's going to get used today I think. So I'm going to take that out. And I've just realised there's a dragonfly there, so do I really want to cover that up? Probably not, so I might put that there. Let's get my pokey tool. So that can just swing to the side, that's that bit. Right, this pocket, I think I want to have an eyelet in. So I'll grab my crocodile. Punch my hole. I think I'm going to do the same in the other one actually as well. Let's get some eyelets. So I've got some dark purple and some light purple. I do actually have a nice green colour as well. Let's have a look. They might be quite nice actually. Yeah, I might go with those. Let's put the lid on that before that dries out. So that's that one. And that's that one. Okay, we've got some green ribbon, which I'm going to then use to tie off as well. Right, you don't want it too long. try that a different way. Better. I'm just going to snip that one off at an angle. Also going to do the end of that one. And all this does is it just almost melts the fibres at the end so that they don't start fraying. So that's that one. And at least now while it's in here, you've obviously got that ribbon poking through. Right, so we're going to do the same for this one. Okay, so again, I'm just going to trim this one down. It doesn't have to be quite so big. Okay, and then that is going to go in there one. There we go. So that one goes in there. Are we now going to make an issue? Yeah, I might not actually be able to have that ribbon on that one because it will then interfere. That's a shame. Never mind. Okay, that's fine. We'll just keep that as that is then. So that one goes inside there. That goes inside there. That's better, isn't it? And then we've still got that one on the top. Right, so we've got journal. We've got this. We could possibly have notes on the back. Got notes on the back of that one. What could we have here? So I might have my list. And this could be my to-dos. Okay, so we've got the list that goes in there. We've got our to-dos. Now you could by all means decorate the front if you wanted to using some of the other freebies. I had beautiful girl that has the dragonfly wings. That could possibly go on there. Or you could just leave it as it is. It's nicely decorated. One thing I've just realised I haven't done on this one is ink and round the corners. I'm going to quickly do that. And give it an ink. That's better. Okay, well that's it folks. That's my journal card within a journal card within a journal card. So just to take you on a little tour just as a reminder, so you've got this journal card here, so you've got lots of space on the back to be journaling. You do have little areas here that you could also journal on, and I've just attached that just as something fun on the front. Then you pull out your next journaling card, and again you've got a floral design. You could decorate that even more if you wish to. Lots of journaling space on the back. Then within that one you've got your final journaling card, which has the lovely dragonfly on. Again, you've got some journaling space there, and of course on the back. I really hope that you would enjoy this challenge. You don't necessarily have to have a journal card within a journal card. You could stick these together, so that's a journaling card as well, as you can stick those together so they're a single separate journaling card. I just thought it's quite nice because it still keeps it all nice and thin, so it will fit nicely within a journal, but it just gives you lots and lots of writing space. So just a reminder that you can find these freebies either in the Non-Stop Papercrafts Facebook group or on my Ko-fi page. Please go and check out my design team as well. They're doing lots of wonderful things with the kit. If you wish to purchase the full Dear Dragonfly kit, I will have that linked down below as well. If you have enjoyed this video, I would appreciate a thumbs up and you possibly subscribing. Make sure you do click that bell as well, because then you'll be notified of all new videos coming out. Thank you so much everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all in the next crafty video. Bye for now.